orientation session, this project is all about you, very less about us. We are there in the background to guide you and to direct you on how the project needs to get executed, but you are the one who's going to be doing everything, right from execution all the way until the presentation of the project and the deliverables. As this is happening, there are lots of challenges that you will face, lots of new learnings that will happen, and you'll see a phenomenal improvement in your hands-on expertise in the field of software testing. Now, we expect you all to have been trained through the IT eLearn videos or live webinars on the tools and process that we've been asking you to watch for a while. I know that some of you are probably joining this first session for the first time, but you should go back and look at the orientation session that we did last week. That will give you a complete in-depth knowledge. Now, today's session is going to be very simple, team. Manoj will walk you through the Google Drive where we have created the list of teams on the confirmed names and people that we have got. We will then give access to it, and he will show you how you'll start interacting and so on with each other in the team and what you should be doing. After which I will actually give you a quick walkthrough on the application and the test that we've chosen from the projects that we execute for our real clients. So these are real projects. They have a real testing need. Sometimes we may be doing the testing on a production server itself. Sometimes we will be doing it on a test server. All right, and you will be then eligible to take that and put it as part of your resume and say how you worked in this project and what you've done. After which I will have Shankar go forward and talk about what will happen. Today's session, it will be more of we talking and telling you how we will be going about. The next session, which will be day 2, I believe is on Wednesday if I'm not wrong, but stick to your GoToWebinar schedule. That will tell you any change. You'll get an email with the updated timing, so please watch your emails, everyone. So the next session onwards is all going to be you talking, you presenting, you showing us what we've done. We will be the panelists, we will be the listeners, along with all the other teams and other team members, and give you the feedback on what we could do better, what we have done good, and so on. And you'll see from day 2 onwards how phenomenally this is going to impact your career, your learning and growth. All right, great. So Manoj, why don't you walk through on the Google Drive briefly, and then I will come back for the application walkthrough.
Yeah, sure, Karthik. Hello everyone. So I have created one Google Drive with name QA Live Project M11. So here you can see that I have created one contact sheet. So in that contact sheet, I have divided you all in a different teams. I think we have 5 team members, 5 teams, and each team I think has 9 to 10 members. So here you can see, and I request you all to go here and update your contact details, even country and state, so that if you fall in a different time zone from your rest of the team, so you can request with me and I can change your team according to your time zone. So we have a think tank, team quality control, tech pirates, team innovation, and tech geeks. Okay. Okay. So here this Google Drive is there, QA Live Project M11. And what I will do, I'll create 5 teams folder here with your team names, and I think going on forward, so you will create some documents for your testing. So please keep those documents in your teams folders only, and do not do anything with other team folders. Like many people by mistake they delete documents from other teams, so don't do that. You can go through, you can see other documents, but do not edit or do not delete anything from this drive. So if you have any question, you can reach to me at manoj@itlearn.com. Over to you, Karthik. I think I'm done.
Okay, so meanwhile, there are some questions from the team that some of your names are not there, like Jinsei is saying, and there is someone is saying. So it should be there. We'll double check whoever has been confirmed and registered. Some of you wanted to. They're saying that we have not registered yet, so please go ahead and register. It will be added. So like Lenora is saying, my name is not there. And some Sai is saying I'm yet to sign up. Yeah, please sign up. It will be added. And other folks like whoever is saying Jinsi and all, we will be taking care of it. It will be there for sure.
So guys, it's very simple. If you have a confirmed participant, you don't see the name in your sheet, then you send an email to us. Also, if you're a confirmed participant, you don't have access to this Google Drive, also send your email to us, and that is when we will know. If you're not a confirmed participant, you're still attending this as a demo, then your name will get added only after you've confirmed your participation into it. Now, so that's the simple logic. I hope it's clear for everyone. There should be no further question on that. Any questions you have, we are there on the chat, on the website, or you can email us anytime. We'll be glad to assist you. Now, if I can take a quick minute and give you an application walkthrough, from there on, I will let Shankar and Manoj drive it for you guys. So, if I can be made the presenter for a couple of minutes, that will be great. Oh, I can make myself the presenter. 1 second. Show my screen. Okay, there you go. So team, the website that we're taking for testing, I'm assuming you all can hear me and see my screen, right? Is going to be mybreakmasters.com. I am not sure how many of you are aware of this. Can I get a feedback from the chat on who's aware of this website? All right. So at least the participants in US may be aware, but anyway, I have to give you the walkthrough. So Breakmasters is a franchise business that deals in complete automotive repair and auto care, be it oil change, be it filters, be it brakes, be it most of the typical care things that we do in the automobile industry. It's got a franchise business, so it's got multiple businesses that are there across US, and each one may be having their own website. The company corporate website is actually breakmasters.com. That is where the main website is. However, for us, what we do is we have developed the website and we are taking care of the complete online marketing and testing for mybreakmasters.com for two specific locations, Santa Monica and Canoga Park. So this is coming under the industry or domain of automotive, all right? Automotive and retail also, because automotive and service retail. This is going to be a complete a franchise business, as I was saying, from the parent company, franchise business for 2 locations. Now, as part of this, the main functionality, if you see, it's a very static website. The website has got all the content in terms of the services that are offered, any coupons that can be brought, being able to contact or call someone and so on. It's a web-based application with responsive themes. So what do I mean by responsive themes team? It is also a website that will get resized and reoriented automatically depending on how the size of the window is. So if you happen to see the same website from an iPad or a smartphone and so on, automatically the adjustment is done to the screen. Alright, so that is how the website is developed. It is a responsive theme and it has been taken care to work on multiple devices at the same time. As I said team, it is a static website. Now, I wished that we could do something more complex, as always, to get you the exposure. However, you will see that be it whatever be the application, there is so much in depth we have to go in terms of documentation, testing as a process, our entire test execution strategy, and how we complete the entire process is going to be the same. The good thing is this is our own client, and you have the right to put that on your resume after you've completed the project successfully. And that is important. And third thing is we can also be contacted for references as part of the project. Now, yes, you have to work very hard because there's a lot of content on the website. It is a lot about content, it is a lot about layout, it is got a lot about UI testing, and then there are a few other things which are there. So for example, there is a schedule and appointment. So you could fix an appointment. What is happening with that? How is the feature supposed to be working? Store hours are out here. Location is mentioned. Then we have something called get coupon. What does get coupon do? Once the user goes to the website, how does he or she get a coupon? And how is it taken care of it? So all of these features are going to be there. There are still a few changes that are coming in that will come up as we go through it. And you will be able to start to work on it very actively, team. Okay? Now, there are multiple pages. If you look at from each service, there are different things that have been put together, and there's a content that has been put on all of these pages, team. At this point, here is the starting point of the application that you're going to be working on, right from creating the test planning document at a high level to getting into the details of modules, test cases, test steps, environments, execution, test management, reporting, everything. You will have to be doing it along with your team. Now, I think it is self-explanatory. You can start to go through it and look at the application. Spend a little time. You'll get a good idea about it. I'm going to put the URL in chat so that you can click and go there. Any questions that I can take on the application right now, please, before I let Shankar take over and start implementing the remaining? Team, any questions, please? All right, looks like nothing right now. So what I'll do is, Shankar, why don't you get going? Talk about how we want to do this project. What is, how, I mean, the whole thing from there. Do you want me to make the presenter? You can right click on your name and make your presenter. Shankar, you can make yourself the presenter, right click on your name in the attendees list.
Just trying to figure out my name in this big list. It should be in alphabetic, but still.
You should be on the top, and the one which says me is you. Let me do it from my end.
For now, yeah. I think it will be in the staff thing, yeah. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. I hope I'll just share the screen.
No, you're not doing it for the right one. Hold on, please. Did it come up for you?
It came and then I clicked on show my screen and hope you should be able to see.
Yep, we're good now. Go ahead. Please.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks, Gary.
And Shankar,
so,
the document I created in a Google Drive folder, specific website, so you can use that to represent anything, to start taking notes on it if you case.
Okay, sure, Karthik. So, so team, so how we are going to do this overall thing, like, you know, you got a little introduction about this application. the more you will get it when you start exploring it. Like as some of you are asking, do you have any requirements for this? So we do have requirements, but the idea is just start exploring a little bit, because most of the times what happens when you join as a QA engineer in any company, this is how it will get introduced. You will have some application or project ready on which you're going to work. But yeah, the first basic question that we all will ask is, do we have any knowledge management system about it, where there are some trainings or documents? And most of the times we get the answer is no. So the similar situation we wanted to put you in, where you explore it, basically try spend about 1 hour. I'm sure you all will be able to understand the application, what are the features that are in it. And then you make a note of it. Basically, when you explore, you're actually learning a new system, you're exploring a new system, so make a note of these points. And I'm sure those will be some of the major points in one of the major artifacts that we are going to prepare, is called the FRS, the Functional Requirement Specification. And at the end, if there is any requirement is missed out from the overall consolidation of your team, definitely we will add to it as we have the full set of requirements with us. Is that clear on the requirements front? So with that, now Manoj has kind of showed you the list of the teams we will be sharing with you post the session. When I looked at the number of team members that we have, it's pretty much, we have it around 8 to 10 people, which is a good number in current industry. If you see, most of the teams that are delivering through the agile methodology, wherein you have a similar team size of 7 to 9 people, and in which one of them will be like a Scrum Master, and then you have rest of the team members working on it. So, and even the timelines, if you see, we are talking about 2 weeks, 2 to 2.5 weeks, which is a pretty much similar to a sprint timelines, right? Normally a sprint timelines goes like 2 weeks to 4 weeks in the current industry where the agile model is implemented. So in a way, you are actually doing the similar project in what currently industry is following it, which are short sprint timelines, which is about 2.5 weeks, where you're trying to prepare the complete test artifacts, and then you're doing the testing and then signing off. So this is one thing that I can correlate at this moment with the team size that we have and the timelines that we are going to deliver this whole thing. So the simple expectations that I have here is project orientation is done, team structures are going are as already showed by the Manoj, and we will be giving you the artifacts that we are going to introduce you today. And what is that expected out of you is, these are some of the very important artifacts. Like, you all will be preparing the FRS, the Functional Requirement Specification document for this particular application, and then you will be coming up with the test plan. In fact, you can have a strategy part of it. If not a separate document, you can put as part of the test plan, or you can prepare a strategy separately. And then some of you will directly write test cases, but it is always better to have use cases, typically explaining how a user will use this system. So you will come up with the use cases, followed by you will come up with the test cases, which are positive, negative in terms of application functional testing related one, UI testing related one, usability testing related one. So you will come up with test cases, which are the major artifacts that you're going to deliver as part of any project as a QA member, right? So you will be preparing the test cases, followed by you will be executing them. So when the only point that I can tell you at this moment is like
did we lose the audio? Manoj?
Uh, Hello team, I think just Shankar got disconnected. So Karthik, can you take over and explain those, I think, about these, the process?
Manoj, I think we should wait for Shankar. Can you call him?
He just called me. I think there's some power outage at his place. So he'll join in a minute.
Manoj, I'm still trying to wait and see if Shankar can join. If he cannot, then I believe we should start from the documentation. You can bring a few documents from the previous live project into our folder here and continue on the same one.
Okay, sure, Karthik. Team, what I will do, we have some documents from previous projects, and also we have some templates. So I think we are going to upload those documents in the same Google Drive what we have I think already shared with you also. So please go through those templates. I think we'll provide you that FRS document, test plan, and use cases, test cases, defect summary report, and everything that will be required. So don't worry about templates. We'll provide that, and uh, according to those templates, I think you can start writing your documents. And I think in coming sessions, I think we will review those things. So and who has, I think, did has not got, I think, Google Drive access, you can just write to us and we will provide that. Okay, let me see if there are any questions. Okay, we have not shared, I think we have templates, we'll upload in that Google Drive and you can access from there, and you can rename that template as your team name, and you can start preparing that document. Can you please provide email address for Google Drive access request? Pragati, I think you need to share your email ID with me, and with me or Shankar. I think we are going to provide you access. You can write to us at manoj@itlearn.com or shankar@itlearn.com. All right, Pragati, I think I got your email ID. I'll include in that list. So if anybody has any questions related to Google Drive or Google Drive access, you can just put the questions here. Okay, so okay, I will put my email ID here also, so you can take that and you can email if you have any questions. Sure, Rajesh, I'll share Google Drive with you on this email ID, but I think it requires Google account. It can be accessed through any other email like Yahoo or Reddit or any other email. You need Gmail account so that you can access that Google Drive. So if you don't have, just create one and share with me. Reena, I think your question is when we'll be able to access the templates on Google Drive. I think after this meeting, right away I'm going to upload those documents in Google Drive, and you can start going through that. Tiffany, I think your question is when is the first deliverable due? So, and what are we going to prepare? So I think first thing will be, as Shankar was explaining, we are going to prepare FRS first, and then we'll move to prepare test plan. So according to, I think, template, you can start preparing FRS, and we'll review that in coming sessions, and then you can modify, and we can move towards, I think, preparing test plan. Jinsi, your question is, I have registered and sent an email also about my registrations. Sure, Jinsi, I think I'll add you in the in team list, and also will share Google Drive with you. Tiffany, I think those documents will be yes, I think you will get 2 or 3 days in between second session. So I think you will start preparing, and I think we can review those documents. Okay, so I think we don't currently, I don't have in this QLI project those templates. So I'll share those templates here in QLI projects Google Drive, and you can access, you can go through that. One question is there from Venkata, I think, are we preparing documents individually or along with our team? So it's a team effort, and each and every member should involved in preparing those documents. So you can divide different parts of the document to prepare, and at the end, I think you can combine in one document. So no need to prepare different test documents from the different team members. Only one document is enough, but involvement from each and every team member is required. Manoj, at what point our group will get another to work on project? I don't have any. I did not get your question, Savina, I think. So Mohammed, I think your question is how do we get connected with the team? So I think you can use GoToMeeting. I think you can get trial version, or Skype or WhatsApp. You can schedule daily status meetings, and you can discuss over there about your progress, about your thoughts, and you can just prepare your documents. Okay. So you can use GoToMeeting, WhatsApp, or even Skype you can use for those your team calls. So Shankar, are you available?
Thank you, Shankar. Yeah, okay. I'm back. So I'm sorry if I got disconnected. So the thing, right? So you guys can meet every day, in fact, through Skype or whatever the way medium that you decide, and you all guys should talk about 3 basic questions. Like before that, definitely you would have break down the tasks. You would have break down into different modules of this application. Based on the menu sections that are available, you can divide into different features and modules, and then assign it to each individual to, of course, everybody should have complete picture of the entire application, but someone should go drill down more into those features because that will be the similar case which happens in real time. The overall big project will be divided into various modules, and those modules will be allocated for you for the testing. So similar thing you can do it, and once that kind of task breakdown structure is done, who is going to do what. So you guys should daily meet up and talk about 3 questions. One is definitely what are the tasks completed in the previous day. For example, if you are meeting today, you should talk about what is the task that you can actually, in the task sheet plan, you can put the target dates also. The owner name who is going to work on the task and the date on which he or she is going to complete it. So you can put up those. Manoj, can you make it as presenter? Let me see if I can. I'm making myself, yeah, it's coming up. Are you guys seeing it?
Yes, Anka, we can see.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So the first thing, that once you have done the breakdown of the tasks and having the owner names and then target date to complete in terms of the FR, you should go deliverable by deliverable, like FRS completion, then test plan completion, then you should have test cases completion, or before that you wanted to have use cases completion. We will be sharing all the templates post the session. So in the same Google Drive, Manoj is going to put you all the templates that you can pick and work on it. So once you have done all that, so on a daily basis, you guys should meet and then talk about first 15 to 20 minutes. You should talk about what are the tasks that are completed by the in the previous day by each member of you. So one of you can, it's basically not leading or anything, but one of you can actually take an initiative, or you can do it on a round robin basis, like one day one person will lead that particular meeting, the other day the other person will lead the meeting. So that way you will actually get exposure to the test lead role as well as Scrum Master role in the current industry, what is happening. And then talk about these 3 questions. What are the tasks completed in the previous day, and what are you planning to do? Like, what are the tasks planning to complete today? And then another very important point is, does anyone has any roadblock in terms of, like, if somebody is blocked because of dependency with other, for example, there is a module 1, module 2, whoever is being assigned with module 2 for writing the test cases, for some information if he is dependent on module 1 resource, so that kind of thing should bring up in the meeting, and those roadblocks have to be resolved, and then you should move it forward. So this is one thing that you can do a quick status checking, and we would like to see the meeting minutes of this one in the first couple of days. We wanted to see how you guys are doing it. And talk about these 3 questions, and then put the status of each member, what they have done, what they're planning to do, and what is a roadblock, and how you guys are planning to resolve such kind of things. It is as it happens on the day-to-day life of every QA member at this moment. So plan to do this way, and then take it forward. So let me look at some of the questions that are coming up. Who is going to provide requirements for testing? So as I said, we have the complete set of requirements, but we will definitely talk about scope, what is in scope for the testing and what is out of scope for the testing. That is one thing we will talk about it. But the application is, as we said, again, it's a very self-explanatory. You do little bit of exploration on this, exploratory testing. As somebody was saying, you want us to start with an exploratory testing. That is what automatically happens when there is no document or when there is no training available. The first thing that we will try to do is explore ourselves, and then it's more of coming up with understanding of the application. So start with that, but next time when we meet it, if you are missing any requirements, or if the requirements are incomplete, we'll definitely add it. So whoever says Google Drive access and all, you will get it. Who is going to provide requirements for testing? Again, so we will talk about in scope and out of scope for this one. How we connected to the team, don't have their contact information. So you will get email IDs or their Skype IDs through which you can contact. I hope our teams get shuffled again due to different time zones so that we can contact with each other. If it is really impacting, we would like to have, but it will be of minimal changes. Definitely we'll see based on the recommendations that you guys give if it is totally in a different time zone. So what is the best? Yeah, again, same question. So test plan, we have the templates and everything. So Manoj, can we get introduced to those templates for each of them now? If you don't have any questions on the other things like application were kind of introduced. We talked about what they need to do. So can we introduce the FRS template and the test plan template?
All right, Chandra, okay. I, I haven't uploaded in this QA library.
Google Drive.
Yeah, but we'll try to. I think let me see previous Teams documents, and
I have them. I can share them.
Okay.
So you can see the functional requirement document that's prepared in the previous sessions, like it's done by the most two members. Pretty much similar you're going to prepare, and if you can see, but the expectations, like when I was talking about the slide, right? So I was talking about this before I got disconnected. So you will be writing test cases, you will be preparing use cases, test cases, and finally you will be reporting the defects, whatever that you have identified. And for this you can use any tool that you are familiar. We are not sticking to one. Like you can use Jira, Bugzilla, you can use Quality Center, and initially if you have you wanted to get them reviewed, you can start with the Excel. You can put them in the Excel, get it reviewed by us when we sync up for the status. So you can do that, but end of the day you need to put it into a test management tool, because maintaining it in the Excel is no more a case in real time, because even if it is a small company, they will have some freeware tool that they will be using for their complete test management process. Okay. The expectation that I wanted to set is any deliverable that you prepare, right from the FRS, the test plan, use case, and everything, we would expect it to be at most quality. At most quality means you take care of these right from the spelling mistakes that you put it in the document to the alignment and the way diagrams that you put it for, especially in the FRS and all, you will come up with some of the user flows diagrams and things like that. So those diagrams, everything should be of utmost quality in terms of the alignment, the what it communicates. We'll introduce Ruby. We'll talk about use case also. So it should be of utmost quality. So before you present it to us, so the best way what you can do for that is within the team level, you can have a peer review. For example, if you prepared a document, first you will do self-review for sure. So these are some of the few techniques that you can follow, so that when it comes to us, it will be the most quality. So first you do your self-review. As soon as you prepare anything, do self-review yourself. Definitely you might identify some of the mistakes that you have done, so correct them, and then do a peer review. So when I say peer review, what does it mean? So you can ask one of your teammate, whoever is part of your team, ask them to review it, right? You can share the same document and you can explain what you have done in that, and the other person should be able to identify if there are any mistakes. It's not only just finding the defects from the application, but whatever the deliverable that you give it also should be of 100% quality. So that's why you get it exchanged with the other peer member, and you review of his or her deliverable. So you exchange the deliverables and do the review. And if time permits, you all should do a team level review also, like based on how many hours you guys meet up and the time availability within the team. Do a team level review also. So what you do, you all 8 to 10 folks meet up, and then somebody will present it, the deliverable that they have done it. So that way the other person can correct it, and you should watch some of the previous videos that we have done at IT Learn for the QA project, and how the status presentation is happened and what kind of comments given by Karthik, Manoj when they were looking at the status. So that should give you a perspective of how or what we are expecting, but otherwise it should be of utmost quality that you can do with your competences, that the knowledge that you have, right? So if you look at some of these, this is the FRS document that is prepared by the previous teams. So where you can follow the similar structure. If you can improve on it, that's well and good. But the least is you should follow this. So you have a revision history here, who created and who are the teammates, the functional teammates, and of course you can maintain the business owner as the same thing, and then you can have the requirement document ID. Finally, myself and Manoj will review it, so we can have the review team members. That is like external review, final review when you come to us. But before that, you can do your review also, team level review. And here is a table of contents that you should maintain. So it starts with the business requirement and what is in scope for the project, out of scope for the project, what kind of functional requirements that you're going to come up with. So when you do the exploratory testing of this application, you will definitely make a note of those things that you identify and then put it over here. As we said, anything if it is clearly missing, if there is a very important requirement, we'll add it once you come to us for the status. So then we have non-functional related requirements on the UI, usability, security perspective, and then you will be adding a couple of workflows, as I was saying, some of the diagrams on how a user will come and use this system. So workflows of non-functional, interoperability, and since this is a web application, there is a highly chance that simultaneously multiple people will be using this, and especially if there is a when there is a offer that is given by the company, or when there is a holiday season coming up, or when there is kind of some promotions are coming up, then you can expect it a peak load on the system, right? So definitely some amount of performance testing that required on this kind of web application. So whether we will put it in scope or out of scope will decide, but some of those things that you can think from the web application. And of course the reliability. So the amount of information that you get out of this application should be reliable. So those things related. You can take this as a base and then you will be preparing it, because even in most of the times when you join in the company, you will have some FRS. If it is there, you will take the base, but otherwise at least the process management team of that company should have some templates to share with us based on which you will be preparing. So you can take this as a base for you to write the FRS document. Apart from this, let me show you the other documents so this is one of the deliverables that we will definitely, that you guys will be working on it. Sorry. And then we have a use case document, as some of you are asking about what is use case and all. So this document will help you with the details. Again, it will have the history details, the versioning details when you update any comments. So depending on the access or authorization type of the application, if suppose if some in application you have, let's say, an administrator role, and there is a read-write user role, and there is only a guest role who can only read the information. So depending on that, when they come to the application and when they try to use the application, what are the features that will be available? Definitely an administrator will have all features available or accessible for that particular administrator. He can do in and out of the system. But a restricted user like a guest, we will be given the restricted permissions on the application. Based on that, it should show only the features that are visible to the contributor, or I would say the guest. So you will be acting like a real user when you actually prepare these documents. Think about those scenarios. For example, if you walk into this application, what are all the things you're going to do it, and put them in a use case format. So use case ID, on which date you're preparing, and what is the title that you wanted to give for this use case. Then you can have a description about it. You can put its priority and what role that you are coming to this, like primary actor or secondary actor. Then what are the trigger points, and This one you tie up with a requirement, on which requirement you are writing this use case. So you should have a traceability between your use case and the requirement. And what is a basic flow? Like you can see here, guest or user. These are all written on the IT eLearn website as part of their previous project. So, but you are going to come up for this Breakmasters, mybreakmasters.com. So similar things. First you understand this one, then you will get an idea, and on that you have to implement for whichever the features that you will be responsible for. Here you have the exceptional flow if you have anything, preconditions, post-conditions, things like that. Okay, so this is about the use case documents. This is the order, or this is the way in which you will be preparing. Of course, people used to even draw the use case diagrams and all, like putting all the annotations, a real user picture and all. That's because nowadays most of the people are directly writing the test cases. So if you write use case in this format, this is more than enough, even if you don't prepare any diagrams and things like that. Give me Gmail account to add you in the Google Drive. No, we will add you. Okay, we will add you based on your ID. The other one that you can look at here is the test plan document. This is another deliverable that definitely we are expecting from the QA team. So here you can see the test plan document that is prepared again for the similar project. So test plan is where it talks about what is the test team that is going to perform in terms of what is the purpose of the project, the objective of the project, and what is your strategy. As I was talking about, most of the time strategy will be part of the test plan itself. So what is the test strategy that you're going to do, and what is in scope for you to testing and out of scope for the testing, and what are the roles and responsibilities that are played out by each team member, and the environment details. So typically on which, so in a real scenario you will have a pre-production environments and then production environments, right? So it is talking about those environments details and what tools you are using. So this is where by the time when you come to the test plan, or when you're actually preparing the test plan, you should have decided on the tool that you wanted to go with, the Jira for the defect management, or Bugzilla for the defect management, or Quality Center. Some of you know who have attended the Quality Center sessions, you wanted to go with Quality Center. So you should have decided and then put those details as part of the test management or test tools that we are going to use it for this project. And you can do a brainstorm on what kind of risks can happen on this particular project, right? So again, you can have 15 to 20 minutes of discussion among the team members, or you can do offline and then consolidate all the risks that you can think of from this project, and then you assign an owner for it. If this risk will come, see, risk planning is very important. Whether they occur or not occur is a secondary thing, but at least risk planning, and then identifying if they have occurred, and then mitigating them. You should have a mitigation plan if something happens, right? So that is very important that we do it as part of every project. So risks and mitigation, and then you should have clearly a test schedule. So starting from tomorrow, once you have the task breakdown structure is completed, you can put your schedule for the next 2.5 weeks, and then we will give you the final date on which by which you should complete. Okay, if you are completing 100% by the time, well and good, but even if you're completing 80-90% of the tasks that are allocated, then of course you should talk about the why remaining 20% you're not able to complete and things like that, but at most you can try to complete 100% of it if possible. So we'll communicate with the final date and put the schedule in this test schedule option. Then you should talk about what is your regression test approach, and then test priorities. How are you going to collect the test status collection and reporting? So typically, pretty much these are the things that will be part of any test plan document that we prepare in our day-to-day projects, right? Any questions so far? I have introduced 3 major deliverables that we are expecting. I'll be introducing the other one also. As per the email, we will be meeting again tomorrow. What is expectation for the meeting? So the idea behind setting up for tomorrow is you will go through these documents today as soon as we share, And if you have any questions, that we will try to address them in tomorrow, because we don't want to just take up day 1 and then we will leave it you for some time. So because the day 2 is also very important. If you have any questions, and if you're good, you're starting, or you're at least breaking down the tasks and allocating the team, and you're coming up with the team structure, that's well and good. You have started the things. But if you have any things, we will be there tomorrow, and then we just ensure that you are ready for doing the things, right? So how we can get the tool? So we'll talk about Jira, where you can sign up on an online and you can use the version of the Jira. Similarly, if you have Quality Center, you can use Quality Center. So this is the any document. Any questions on these documents? You can look at this strategy, how we prepared, what is in scope for it, out of scope. You see the quality of the document when I was navigating through. So we would expect the similar quality, or much better than this if you can make it. Right. So this is where we are talking about traceability matrix. So where you should have all your requirements from the FRS or FSD. Once you have finalized the requirements, then you will put the section number for that, and for which you are writing the test case and the corresponding test case ID, so that you don't miss out any test cases when you actually write the test cases. So once the requirements of the project are clear, you will ensure that you have covered everything. So that's the idea behind requirement traceability. So there is a separate traceability matrix also you can prepare. You can prepare it in an Excel, or you can prepare it in a Word document. The same structure that we have showed it in the test plan. You can take all the requirements one side, test cases one side, and then you can map them, what is covered, what is not covered. The other one is the test cases format. Let me just find it out. So here you can see the details. No, this is about the defects one. Okay, this is also defect. Manoj, can you help me with the test case format in this? Can you identify it quickly?
Okay, sure, Shankar. Let me do that.
Or otherwise also no problem. So we have a test case format in which we are expecting you to write the test cases. So wherein you will have a test case ID, the test case title, what you're actually planning to test it, and what are the preconditions that are required for performing the testing, and then what are the steps you're going to do, step 1, step 2, step 3, what you're going to do. And for each step that you do, for some of the steps you might use some test data, and for some of them it may not require test data, so we'll maintain a test data column in which you write the data that you're going to use. And finally, what you're expecting the result out of the test case. So there will be an expected result column in which you will write what you're expecting it. So this you will do in one phase once you understand the requirements of the project and what is the test plan is clear, what you wanted to do the testing. That's when you will actually write the test cases. And once you basically what best thing you can do is, if you write the test cases, let somebody else will execute them if possible. So that's the way two things can happen over here, because in real scenario when you write the test cases, it's not always guaranteed that you will be the one who will be executing it. You may be sharing with other team members in a different location altogether. So he can identify if there are any problems and if certain things are not clear. So you will come to know how to write a test case which will work for everyone, right? It's not that you. So that's the way if you can exchange the test cases and execute them, that's well and good that you can do it. And while executing the test cases, you will mark the results, whether they are passed or failed as per what is happening on the application. For every single failure that you will do, for every single test case that you get a failure result, we would expect it to you to have a defect logged. And so for that, again, we have a defect template which we'll be sharing with you, in which you will be talking about what is the defect ID, the title of the defect, what is the criticality of the defect, the severity, and you can put the priority if you can understand something, but that's totally depends on the importance for the customer. So you can put up all the details, repro steps, how did you repro it. So remember one thing, when you log a defect and all, don't just give the basic information. Try and give as much information as possible. Make your defect rich with required information so that the developer should not come back to you. So basically try to provide all those details. So these are some of the 5 major deliverables, and finally you can have one summary report in the last in which you need to consolidate what are all the testing you have done, what testings were passed, what testings were failed, how many defects that you have identified. So one final summary report will be there. So in terms of artifacts, if I just go back to my slide, so you will be coming up with FRS, test plan. For everything we have the templates that we'll be sharing with you. Strategy is part of the test plan. You'll be preparing use cases, you'll be preparing test cases, defects, and finally test summary report. Or generally it is
Shankar, you there? I think we cannot hear you. Okay. Shankar, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Okay, okay. So these are the things that you're going to prepare, artifacts in terms of what you'll actually be preparing. So let me take some of the questions. After test summary, so okay, test summary or test sign-off report as what I was saying it. This will be the final document that will be coming out of you from the team, indicating what are all you have done, what are the different testings you have done, and what are passed, what are failed, and what are the defects that you have logged. So one good practice that you definitely do is traceability, in terms of once you have the requirement, you should have a corresponding test case. For the test case, if anything that is failed, you should have a corresponding defect. So these 3 levels of traceability you try to make it, and that will help you. If somebody knows the test case, they can identify the corresponding requirement, they can identify the corresponding defect if there is anything. If somebody knows the defect, they can identify the corresponding test case and the corresponding requirement. So do this 3-level traceability. You can break it into 2. First you can do traceability for this, and then you can do traceability for this one. So that is a improve that we'll try to make it from the previous one. Previously we did it only between requirement and test case. Let's do one more thing extra here between test case and defect also for each failure test case. So any questions that you have at this moment? So post session you will be shared with all these templates. Go through them, spend some time on the application, try and explore yourself, prepare the list of functionalities that you get it in your get it in your mind as you go through. Yeah, so Chaita, can you stay online after this one? We can talk about it. I know I got that email from the team, and I told them the best way I can solve this for you is communicating, because when I saw the email there were so many things on it. So just be there. Either we can communicate to GoToMeeting or Skype call. We can have it and resolve it. Okay, so coming to this orientation, this is what we wanted to do today. So you guys have any questions? How can I register for this project? So if you are here, you should have already registered through one link, and that's how you have joined. Now the next steps that you have to do is in terms of talking to the technical team and try to get the membership. So one important point is this will be open up for the folks who are the membership. We have already have the membership starting from tomorrow. So only those members who are part of the team through any of the course, and if you're part of the QA project only, you will get a link for tomorrow. So basically that's one another important thing. So do we need to test the whole application, or we have in scope and out of scope? So we'll definitely, the application is very big in terms of the content, even though it is static with only 5-6 pages, but there's so much to do it. So, and I'm very doubtful how much we can finish it in 2.5 weeks, because and there are certain features not available. So we have definitely, as we said, it is a beta version, ongoing version, where certain new features are adding. So we will limit the scope. It's not that we will have to do the complete testing of the application. Any other questions that we have at this moment? So what you should do today is, after getting all the templates and everything, go through them, spend some time on the application. We'll sync up tomorrow, same time, only for the questions. If you have any questions, and that too, if you have done some progress, that's well and good with the teams that you have at least started communicating, talking and introducing yourself, and that is the least expectation that we expect by tomorrow. If you have started certain things, that's well and good. How can I get in touch with the sales team? So there is an email on the website that you can check it. Contacting email. Fine, Manoj, do we have anything else that you wanted to add up today?
Nothing much from my side, Sankar. I think if you have any question related to sales or anything, you can email to learn@itlearn.com, or if you have any technical questions, I think you can, or issue with Google Drive, you can email to sankar@itlearn.com or manoj@itlearn.com. So that's it from my side, Sankar. Anything from your side, Karthik, if you are there?
No, it's not Howley.com Ojasvi. It is a different one. So it's mybreakmasters.com. Ojasvi, I think you were there in the previous one, so it's a different one, mybreakmasters.com. So we'll be sending you the document in which the URL will be there, application URL will be there. So all that you will get it in a couple of minutes from now with the Google Drive link and everything. I think Google Drive already shared by the Manoj, but the other documents will be sending you in a couple of minutes. Please put the email on screen to get it into Google Drive when you have. Please put the email on screen to get it into Google Drive when you have registered. So what happens is, we will add your email ID to the Google Drive. We'll give you an access. For example, let me just show you what Manoj has done. For example, this is what Manoj has added, and I got an invitation from him. The similar way, you will get an invitation, okay, on your email ID, whichever you have shared with us. You will get an invitation from Manoj, and all that you have to do is just click on this link, QA project link, and then you are there. You can see the documents. Okay, I will be adding these notes also. Whatever. Actually, what I will do, I will have to pick up the notes from here, like what Karthik has started, and I will be updating these as we go forward. So there is no separate document that I will be preparing or anything. I'll start from here only. I know I'm not in the list. How will I know which? So please, whoever is not part of the list, can I put the list one more time so that you can check it? If I think we'll just do that. And if any of you are missing, you can immediately send an email. I'll just open up the list one more time, so please have a look at them.
I think, Sankar, I think if they have...
okay, yeah, correct. So they have it already? Yeah, please check it and... yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, if you don't find your name in this contact sheet, you can email to me or Sankar, or even you can write to sales team at learn@itlearn.com. So we'll provide you the details and required steps.
Okay. When we need to submit FRS, so that's what. So we kind of given you the application. We are you're going to explore it today. and then look at the FRS document, how many pages it is, what are the contents in it is, RSV. Look at that, and with that you come up with some average tentative timeline, that when you think the first delivery is definitely the FRS. So when you think that can be finished, you come up with some tentative timelines. But we have some timelines in our mind also. If you think that is you're going to take it too late, and if you are not going to align with other teams and all, we'll update you. But if your timelines are matching with the timelines overall for the program that we are planning to do it over here, we are well and good. Okay. Cool. Thanks. So that's all we have for today, and let's sync up tomorrow. Once you get all these documents, if you have spent some time in going through them, but at least spend 2 to 3 hours per day starting from today for the next 2.5 weeks, and take it as like the real project that you're going to do it in a company. Then it will add a lot of value to your experience. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shankar. Bye.